Well, I am glad to be here. I want you to swallow while I make a statement and take notes while you swallow, because I'm going to have you repeat something after me. And then I promise I won't ask you to do anything else. But listen, swallow and write this down. My ideas are the substance of my behavior. Ideas are the substance of behavior. How we feel, think about something going to have a lot to do with what we do and how we behave. And then I'll make a statement that I got to believe you've heard all day and will hear and probably heard before you got here, that dropping out of school is a problem. It is a problem, and we must feel it. We must understand it. We must see it. We must get it, so that we can behave accordingly once we get it and understand it, that it is a problem. And I'll talk a little bit about how that problem can impact us. I'll share how it's impacting my current work in the city of Richmond. So if you've swallowed and your mouths are almost empty, I want you to repeat this after me. Things won't get better for me until I get better. Our communities won't change until we change. Our schools won't change until we change. And I can make that happen. How many of you believe that by a show of hands? Well, that's how we do it. Again, our ideas are the substance of our behavior. And our young people today need us to demonstrate our leadership, because I would fathom and tell you that many of our young people and the things that we see happening in our communities amongst our people are indeed a direct reflection of who we are as adults. And it's going to require that we change in order to create that change that we want to see in our youth and our young adults. James Baldwin, the great author, advocate, activist, once said that young people have never been good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. Now, James said that a long time ago, so a whole lot hasn't changed. Young people are indeed imitating us and what we do. So it's important to appreciate that as a caring adult, and I got to believe that you are here because you are indeed a caring adult, that you understand that there is someone younger than you looking up to you, and they're watching you, and they're seeing the things that you do and the things that you choose not to do. And that's having an impact on their reality. What you do, but also the things you choose not to do. They're also listening to you. And they're hearing what you say and the things that you choose not to say. You are indeed having an impact. You are indeed leading. And I was at a conference recently. Well, it wasn't that recent ago, because I've been saying this for a while. Okay, you're awake. That's good. You're breathing. I was at this conference, and this elderly gentleman said one of the, if not the most profound thing at the conference. When the statement from the podium was made that it takes a village to raise a child. Takes a village to raise a child. And there was this elder cat, and I'm tipping on the verge of calling him old, but that would get me in trouble, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, he said, don't walk towards me. This elder, wise gentleman. And I'm glad that, thinking back on it, I'm very happy that I was close enough to hear him because, again, I thought it was provocative. The speaker said it takes a village to raise a child. something that we all have heard before, time and time again. And therefore, I think we get that. But this speaker mumbled something that I don't think we always get. What he mumbled was, yeah, but who's raising the village? Yeah. His point. Some of y'all are awake, y'all get it. I don't know about these people over here. Y'all get it. His point was the village is indeed raising the child. The problem is the state of the village. So what are we going to do about that becomes the real issue. Dropping out of school is a problem. We first have to acknowledge that and get our arms around it. We also have to appreciate our power and appreciate that there are things that each of us can do, that each of us has a role to play. We've got to stop the petty politicizing of the issue. We've got to stop and transcend the ego issues that pop up around who gets credit for what. Now, I'm just telling you what us adults do. Because in city government where I work, it just blows my mind how it doesn't take rocket science to change this reality. But things like that get in the way. Egos, politics, who gets credit? I'm not going to work with them. And we tell our young people to be fair, to be open-minded, to share. But what do? We hoard. We're challenged little kids, aren't we? Yeah, we are. But there are things that we can do and things that we should be doing. And it requires that we acknowledge our power and that we expand our vision of ourselves, that we expand our vision of our young people, that we understand that we are indeed leaving a legacy. The question becomes, what kind of legacy are we leaving? What kind of legacy are we leaving? What kind of vision do we have for our young people and for our communities? I ask you to write this question down, get a pen, pencil. Now, I'm going to be like a teacher. We give them some instructions to some youngsters. Well, we expect them to follow the instruction. What do we want our young people to be like is the question. What do we want our young people to be like? Do we have a vision in our mind's eye about what that looks like? And are we visiting that vision daily, weekly, monthly? What do we want our young people to be like? Second question I'd like you to write down, and I think it's more important that we struggle with this question ourselves personally. Are we that? What do we want our young people to be like? And are we that? Are we that? In Richmond, California, I direct the Office of Neighborhood Safety. It's a relatively new office created to turn the tide on youth violence, specifically gun violence. In our city, we have less than 100,000 people who live there. We have about 43